Okay, it's Billy Carringer from Spectrum Color, and today we're going to be working with our new paint system, the Spectrum Color TouchPro. This is a whole kit that you can buy, and it takes you all the way through the prep wipe, all the way through the blending solvent if you're going to do a blend on a panel, a part, anything. This right here is designed for anything that's powder coated or any metal surfaces. So the first thing we're going to do is take our part and we're going to prep the initial part with 220. Okay, that's going to give the primer something nice to bond to. Okay, now once we've prepped the area with 220, we're going to take our Spectrum Prep. This is a degreaser, dirt remover. It's very important to use this in between every step, sanding, because that's going to remove any leftover dust or dirt that's on the surface. Take a paper towel, saturate the part good. Wipe it good, and like I said, what this is going to do is this is going to free any grease, any wax, any surface dirt that's left on the part from sanding. It should flash off relatively quickly. Okay, now that our part is prepped and clean with our Spectrum Color Prep, now we're ready for primer. Okay, and the way you do the primer is shake it for 2 minutes. It's very important to do this, okay? It mixes everything nice. Once you shake it for 2 minutes, you take the button out of the top, put it in this cylinder down here, okay? Because what this is a 2-part can. Your converter is in the bottom. If you don't do this step, your primer will not cure. Take it, pop it on the table, make sure it's straight up and down. Okay, mix it for another 2 minutes. What we're doing now is we're putting the converter into the mixture so you get a good cure. Okay, once you shake that for 2 minutes, we're going to put a couple medium coats on it. Okay, once the first coat is applied, what we want to do is wait about 5 minutes for all this to flash off. It'll flash off and dull out. What that's indicating is the solvent has flashed off, so you don't trap any kind of solvent bubbles or anything like that. All right, so we're back. This right here is flashed off. It's flattened out. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put another coat on it. Okay, so this right here, I would give it 1 hour to 2 hours to make sure it's properly cured out. And the good thing about this primer also is once you pop the tab underneath here, you'll have 24 hours of pot life, which means this can should be good for 24 hours before it kicks off into the can. Okay, guys, we're back. As you can see, this primer laid down real nice and flat. It's filled any kind of little micro scratches that we had in it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take 400 grit we're going to prep this panel and get ready for top coat. Okay, once we've got it sanded, now we're going to take a cloth with our Spectrum Color Prep. So this is going to remove any kind of grease, any kind of dust that's left on it from the actual sanding process. And we'll hang this thing up and get it ready for paint. All right, guys, we've already got our panel prepped, hung up, ready to go. Another important piece to do before you apply top coat is you always want to tack the surface with a tack cloth. What that's going to do is that's going to lift off any kind of dust that's fell on the part or anything right before you paint. Basically light pressure. Okay, now we've done that. Now we can get into the painting process. This is another great thing about our product is it's factory match to whatever part you're working on. You're going to get that match. You're going to get a good blend. So just like the primer, you want to shake it for 2 minutes. Okay, and just like the primer, this is a 2-part can. Our converter's in the bottom, so we're going to have to hit the pin here with the button, pull it out of the cap, put it on the bottom like so. You're just going to pop it down on the table. What that does is that injects the converter into the mixture. You want to shake it for additional 2 minutes. The good thing about this here is once it's popped, once it's converted, you've got 8 hours of pot life in this can. So if you had to go back and touch anything up, you have extra time to do so. Once it's mixed, test spray. We want to put a couple light coats on because we don't want to trap any kind of solvent on the part. Okay, after this first coat, we want to wait about 10 minutes for everything to flash off. That way we don't trap any kind of solvent. Okay, guys, the 10 minutes up, we're going to do another coat. All right, it's very important every time you get done with a coat of your paint, turn the can upside down, 3 to 5 second shot. What that does is that cleans the tip out so you don't get any kind of gumming or anything when you go to your additional coat. Okay, now it's been 10 minutes. Now we're going to do our third and final coat. What we're looking for is about 4 to 6 mils of paint on your part. just like any other paint, you want to look for about a 50% overlap when you're applying top coat. You have to give this about 24 hours. Should be ready to sand. Okay, now we've covered the application process. Now what we're going to do is we're going to get into the blending process. As you can see right here, I've already primed an area that was damaged. So first step after your primer's dry is we're going to sand this spot with 400 grit, prep, and get ready for blending. Okay, now now that we've 400 gridded, we're going to come out here with some 800, and then on out here with 1200 for our blending process. It's about a DA width of 800. Okay. Same with the 15. We're going to go another DA width right here. All right. So now once all that is sanded, we're going to do our solvent prep. And this is our Spectrum Color Spectrum Prep. Just make sure the surface is decontaminated with any dust, any wax. You just want to wipe this to make sure you get all the solvent off the surface. Again, shake this for 2 minutes. This is going to be your top coat. Take the cap and pop the cylinder in the bottom to activate the converter. When you guys are doing this, make sure that the can is straight up and down when you pop the bottom. That way you don't bend the shaft or anything like that and cause leaking. Shake it for an additional 2 minutes. And this first pass, we're only going over the primer right now, okay? And again, allow 10 minutes for this to flash off so you don't trap any solvent. All right, now that's been 10 minutes, our second coat, we're going to come through the 400 grit to the start of the 800 on our first coat. All right, we're going to let that sit for about 10 minutes again, just to make sure everything flashes off and you don't trap any solvent. All right, so now that we went through the 400 to the start of the 800, the second coat's going to go through the 400 again to the stop of the 1500. We'll let that sit for about 10 minutes again, make sure everything flashes off, and then we'll continue the blend. Okay, so now it's been 10 minutes. We went all the way to the 800. We're going to do a third pass all the way to the 15. And then immediately after, we're going to hit it with a blending solvent. What the blending solvent's going to do is it's going to burn this edge into the paint, and it's going to help eliminate that paint line. Very important here, only to spray the blender on the unsanded surfaces. So what that's going to do, like I said, that's going to help burn this line in. You may be able to do it a couple times, but do it once, kind of let it flash. Do it again, because if you do it too much, what's going to happen is it's going to reduce this paint a whole lot, and it's going to cause runs.